Hello class 10th, I am Ashok, your English teacher, present here with part 1 video of the chapter Glimpses of India from the book First Flight. There are 3 parts of this chapter. Part 1 is A Baker from Goa, written by Lucio Rodriguez. So let's start the discussion with the introduction. This part, A Baker from Goa, revolves around the relevance of a baker in Goan culture, which dates back to the time when Portuguese ruled over the city of Goa. The Portuguese may have left, but the bread makers continue to have an inhabitable stature. In this story, the author recalls his childhood days and their excitement on seeing the baker. They were enthusiastic to the point that they would run to him as soon as they woke up without even brushing their teeth. Before you read column is there, and we had discussed about these questions given there in the online class, so there is no need to discuss these things again. So let's start from the original text of the chapter. A baker from Goa. This is a pen portrait of a traditional Goan village baker who still has an important place in his society. So this particular part, a baker from Goa, is a pen portrait. Pen portrait means informal description of a traditional Goan village baker who still has a reputed place in the society in Goa. Now read the text. Our elders are often heard reminiscing nostalgically about those good old Portuguese days, the Portuguese and their famous loaves of bread. Those eaters of loaves might have vanished, but the makers are still there. We still have amongst us the mixers, the molders, and those who bake the loaves. Those age old time tested furnaces still exist. The fire in the furnaces has not yet been extinguished. The third and jingle of the traditional baker's bamboo, heralding his arrival in the morning, can still be heard in some places. Maybe the father is not alive, but the son still carries on the family profession. These bakers are even today known as padar in Goa. Now, see, some difficult words are there in this part of the text. Reminiscing nostalgically means thinking fondly of the past. Loaves, it is the plural form of loaf. Loaf is bread that is shaped and baked in a single piece and can be sliced for eating. Vanished means disappeared suddenly and completely. Molders means a person who molds dough into a shape. Furnaces means an enclosed structure in which materials can be heated to very high temperatures. Extinguished means cause a fire to cease to burn, and heralding means announcing, and padar means word for baker in Portuguese language. Now, I will explain what was there in this part of the text. The story takes us back to the time when Portuguese ruled Goa. They were immensely famous for their breads. The narrator often finds his elders thinking about those good old days and telling them that the famous breads date back to the time when Portuguese ruled over Goa. They ponder over the past and tell them that though the Portuguese have left Goa, but the bakers of bread still exist. If not the original ones, their legacy is being continued by their sons. The bakers are still being referred to as padars. Everything about baking is still the same, ranging from those who mold the bread loaves to the furnaces which have survived the ravages of time. The sound of their arrival and the the thud of their bamboo stick can still be heard just like the olden times. Means this culture is continuing in the state of Goa. During our childhood in Goa, the baker used to be our friend, companion, and guide. He used to come at least twice a day, once when he set out in the morning on his selling round, and then again when he returned after emptying his huge basket. The jingling thud of his bamboo woke up us from sleep, and we ran to meet and greet him. Why was it so? Was it for the love of the loaf? Not at all. The loaves were bought by some Paskin or Vestine, the maid servant of the house. What we longed for were those red bangles which were chosen carefully. Sometimes it was sweet red of special make. So some words are there which may be difficult for you. Companion means a person with whom one spends a lot of time. Jingling means make or cause to make a light metallic ringing sound. Now I will tell you what was there in this part of the text. The narrator recalls that the baker acted as their friend and companion during their childhood days in Goa. The vicar used to visit twice a day, once while he was on the round to sell his loaves, and the other time while returning back with his empty basket, having sold all the loaves. It was the sound of his bamboo stick that woke the children up. The children were so excited to meet him and choose from the bread bangles or kankan he made especially for them. While the bangles were for children, loaves were for the adults that were generally collected by the maid servants of the household. Here, two names are given there, Paskin or Bastine. So, these are the names of maid servants of a particular house. Now, see the next part. The baker made his musical entry on the scene with the jang jang sound of his specially made bamboo staff. One hand supported the basket on his head and the other banged the bamboo on the ground. He would greet the lady of the house with good morning and then place his basket on the vertical bamboo. We kids would be pushed aside with a mild rebuke, and the loaves would be delivered to the servant. But we would not give up. We would climb a bench or the parapet and peep into the basket. Somehow I can still recall the typical fragrance of those loaves for the elders and the bangles for the children. Then we did not even care to brush our teeth or wash our mouths properly. And why should we? Who would take the trouble of plucking the mango leaf for the toothbrush? And why was it necessary at all? The tiger never brushed his teeth. How he could wash and clean up everything so nicely after all. So, here in this part of the text, there are three or four words which may be difficult for you. Staff means stick. Rebuke means expression of disapproval or a scolding. Fragrance means a pleasant sweet smell. Parapet, railing, or a low protective wall. Vangles here refers to the bread in the shape of a vangle called kankan. So now I will tell you what was there in this part of the text. So we read that the waker often made a musical entry with his bamboo stick. His one hand supported the basket on his head while the other banged the bamboo on the ground. And this bamboo stick create the sound of jang jang. He would go house to house and greet the ladies before handing them over the loaves. The parents would scold the children and make them stand aside. What as eager as they were, they would climb a bench of or the wall to peep into the basket. They did not even bother to brush their teeth before having those bread bangles because it seemed unnecessary effort for them to pluck mango leaves from the branches to use them for brushing the teeth. They considered brushing unnecessary because the hot tea could effortlessly wash their mouth, and they thought that animals like the tiger never brushed their teeth, so it was useless activity for them at that time. Now see the next part. These are the old comprehension check which we had discussed in online class, so there is no need to discuss them here. Now see the next part. Marriage gifts are meaningless without the sweet bread known as the ball. Just as a party or a feast loses its charm without bread, not enough can be said to show how important a baker can be for a village. The lady of the house must prepare sandwiches on the occasion of her daughter's engagement. Cakes and bolhas are a must for Christmas as well as other festivals. Thus, the presence of the baker's furnace in the village is absolutely essential. So, in this part of the text, there are two words which may be difficult for you. Feast. Feast means a large meal, typically a celebratory one. Bolinhas means another name for coconut cookies. So, bread is an important part of the Gaon culture, and it is evident from its presence at every important occasion. From sweet breads at marriages to sandwiches at engagement parties and cakes and coconut cookies at Christmas as well as other occasions, makes the presence of a baker in every village very essential. So means baker is still important in Gone culture because without a baker no any occasion can be completed. The products made by a baker are necessary things in the feast, marriages, and other festivals. Now, see the next part. The baker or bread seller of those days had a peculiar dress known as the kawai. It was a single piece long frock reaching down to the knees. In our childhood, we saw bakers wearing a shirt and trousers which were shorter than full length ones and longer than half pants. Even today, anyone who wears a half pant which reaches just below the knees invites the comment that he is dressed like a padar. So, in this part of the text, there is no any difficult word. So, let's see what was there. So, author says the bakers were known to have worn unique knee-length frock dresses, typically known as kawai. Means kawai was the dress used to wear by those bakers which were there in the Portuguese time. In the narrator's childhood days, he had seen them wearing shirts and pants whose length was shorter than the usual ones. Means, with the passes of time, their dress changed. And in the childhood days of the narrator, he had seen the padar wearing shirts and pants, and the length of the pant was shorter than the usual ones. It was a part of their identity, so much so that even if someone wears that trouser length now, he is said to have dressed like a baker or padar, as was said in olden times. This was there in this part of the text. Now, see the next part. The baker usually collected his bills at the end of the month. Monthly accounts used to be recorded on some wall in pencil. Baking was indeed a profitable profession in the old days. The baker and his family never starved. He, his family, and his servants always looked happy and prosperous. Their plump physique was an open testimony to this. Even today, any person with a jackfruit like physical appearance is easily compared to a baker. So, two or three words are there which may be difficult for you. Plump physique means pleasantly fat body. Open testimony means public statement about a character or quality. Now, I will tell you what was there in this part of the text in simple language. So the baker had a way of making monthly record of bills on a wall using a pencil and then collecting the money at the end of the month. Baking has always been a profitable profession. The baker's family and workers have always been happy and joyous. The baker was usually fat, which was proof that he had a lot to eat and hence was a proof of his richness. Even to this day, someone with a well built body is compared to a baker. So, this was all about this chapter. Mm, these comprehensions are there which you have to complete. We have discussed them in online classes, and I had already given this as homework. So if you have not yet done, you have to do this as homework. That's all for today. Thank you. Have a nice day.